Jason Goodman has met many stars, big-time celebrities in this line of work. Michael Jackson, Jay-Z, even turned down a chance to go to Kelly Clarkson's personal home and meet her. Yeah, I'm busy that
It's
weekend.
true.
Desensitizing.
For free.
Remember, he met Rihanna.
Rihanna?
Oh, yeah, could have saw Adele in Vegas, but it didn't do that.
Yeah, didn't see Adele in Vegas.
Yeah,
Because,
didn't have enough time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep, and not just like in concert, like actually meeting him. Met Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Big stars.
I met two of my big-time ones that I always wanted to meet. Not as excited anymore. John Bon Jovi a couple times. Frankie Valli about 3 times.
Well, you hid behind the dumpster.
Yeah, we had no connection with Frankie Valli because he's not putting out any more new music.
Yeah.
You had to shock him.
That was a big one. I was a little nervous for that one.
Yeah.
But not like this.
No, gosh.
More starstruck than ever. This recently happened.
Yeah, because what happened was, remember I was telling you about this guy that I think is one of the best speakers ever, to the point where every time I hear him speak, for me, I get like, I have like emotional reactions. You know, all different ways. Extreme like excitedness to extreme like anxiety to extreme. I'm somebody that can do that in the way they capture attention. I always think that speakers can be boring.
Oh, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
They absolutely can. Yeah,
Like-
but you know the good ones.
Yes. Well, you know that I'm agnostic,
Yes.
which means that, you know, I'm in between. There could be, there could not be.
I'm in between.
Did you meet Jesus?
Did you meet Jesus?
I knew it.
But
He would be the first one
He
to.
would
no. He, so this person who, his name is Jonathan Robbins.
And is he the pastor?
He is a pastor.
Okay.
But typically it is not always at this Oak Ridge location that they opened up.
Okay.
This location near me. Although they have another big location in Kernersville, the one I go to is the Oak Ridge location.
So you just see him via like a screen.
A lot of times, or they have somebody else. It depends on the summertime.
I see.
I guess this guy goes on vacation sometimes too. I didn't think religious people
goodness.
do that.
They're
Forget
not
him.
allowed to have time off.
When he wasn't there one time, I was like, oh, well, this is not the same.
Yeah.
And the night before, over the weekend, I went to a game in Raleigh, Durham Bulls game in Raleigh. So we got home, and it was rather late. I have informants
Oh, God.
in the area that
Of course you do.
told that
Informants.
Of course you do.
told them to alert my wife if they ever know if he's going to be coming to this particular church per se live.
So basically, like, you have these informants
Yes.
to let you know whether it's going to be worth your time to go in the
To go to
morning.
church.
I basically said this to an informant so I could say whether or not I could just say, no, Carol, I'm not going.
Sure.
Right?
Right. Yeah, wasted time.
Yeah, because I'm like,
Yeah.
she's dragging me out to the church all the time. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm on already. All types of incentives, too.
I can only imagine.
So we get home late from this game. So it's like 12:30, and I walk in, and Carol's there. She goes, I just got a phone call.
Oh.
I'm like, this late? Yes. Jonathan is going to be live
Pastor Jonathan.
Wow.
in Oak Ridge.
What?
And I'm like,
I want to be a fly on the wall so bad.
oh, my God. What? Am I not supposed to say that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to do. So immediately I get this like sensation of I got to go. But I start getting nervous that we're getting closer and closer to seeing each other in person. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy is incredible. He brings out these credible emotions. He's entertaining as anything. And maybe I'm just desensitized from the Taylor Swift stuff and whatnot. I am more nervous about going now because I said, Carol, we're definitely going. We're definitely going. In my mind, I'm thinking, I got to go up to him. I got to meet him, right?
Sure.
I wanted to get a selfie. And
With the pastor.
yes.
Christian Jason.
I'm serious. He's so good.
Elder Goodman.
So I get to the church area. I notice it's extra busy.
Did you dress up?
No, I did not.
Oh.
Okay. You didn't
Well,
didn't spend
I mean,
a little extra
It's
time?
a little, but yeah.
Okay. I'm just checking.
But I noticed that it's busier than usual. And then sometimes I don't think, and you can tell me, that churches sometimes aren't as busy because people have vacations.
Yeah, there's people definitely. I've noticed
Sure,
that at our church.
sure.
Like,
Okay,
people
that's
on
what I thought.
vacations.
So we get there. I'm like, okay, we're not parking in my usual VIP spot that I try to get all the time and convince the guy. And
Which is reserved for the pastor.
well, it's by the front area. And usually I'm like really nice to that guy. So he's like, all right, just pull in right there. I'm like, that's what I thought. Anyways, I have to park far away because it's so busy. I walk in with Everly. She goes to and the first thing I see in the distance, there he is out front. I immediately walk the other direction in panic. The other direction. I'm like, I'll take Everly to the thing. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I'm starting to shake.
I can just picture
Wow.
you
I'm like,
pacing.
and
I
you
can
know
just
how I
picture
am.
it.
I
Yeah.
don't know, in a church setting, I don't know exactly the right thing or the thing that I could say because
Sure.
I could say the wrong thing and it could be offensive to the religion. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh my gosh. So finally, I'm like delaying, and I notice it's getting closer and closer to the time, and it's real busy too because both of these services are coming out, I guess, at the same time.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking. Finally, I see him go off. I'm like, oh, phew. But then I feel really disappointed in myself. Like, I can't have the balls to go up to this guy and say anything and get a selfie.
Yeah.
Were you
Come on.
were you like relieved that he kind of
Yes.
made the decision for you
Yes.
that you can't approach him because he left?
Yes. And
Sure.
I was relieved, Katie.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
exactly my thing. It's like, I'm relieved that I didn't. He's not here.
Yeah.
I don't have to go up to him. Of course, it starts now. But, so anyways, I'm disappointed a little bit in this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Carol and I go in and sit down. It's packed. So obviously other people got tipped off by these informants.
They have informants too.
Because now I know the Kerner's location must be having this video that comes down on a screen. And let me just tell you, the production at this place, I think Jared's daughter went there for some kind of acting or something.
Yeah, they did a musical review for a theater there, and the Summit
yeah.
Church allowed them to use their facilities. And yes, the technology, the setup is really, really phenomenal.
And I don't know exactly how that was, but the system that they have and the lighting and the stereos and the production of the videos and everything,
Fog machine.
it's unbelievable.
Sure.
So I never know. I don't know what to expect. So anyways, the band plays the two songs, and I'm getting very anxious of how he's going to come on. And I get very detailed, like, is he going to sneak on through the back? Is he coming in through the side? How does this
in.
actually
Shoot up from the
work?
floor in the middle of the
I'm
stage.
expecting-
He's lowered
pyro
down by
comes out.
bungee.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like Bon Jovi. He comes out. Anyways, the band plays, and it's mysterious. The star calls, and he does mysteriously appear on stage.
Oh my. Okay.
And all of a sudden, it's a different tone. I'm not used to this tone. It's like still like the keyboard playing, and he comes up in a very serious tone that I've never heard of before. And already, I'm like, oh my gosh, I never felt this feeling before. And he's talking about this communion stuff.
Okay. The body of Christ.
Yes, and we have these little cups for the thing.
Communion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Blood of
sacrament.
Christ.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wasn't hungry. I didn't have it. But
It's not
I'm
lunch.
fasting.
It's not lunch or breakfast or snack.
Oh, no thank you. I just ate.
yes.
Is that Mediterranean? Is that the Mediterranean diet?
Is this gluten free? Just wondering.
So and it's a very serious tone, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've never felt this before. Is this gonna the whole time? And then after everybody takes their
Communion.
communion, it changes into the typical, I guess you would say, Jonathan Robbins. And here he is again, the way he goes around the stage, the way he's very animated. He is funny as hell. I don't know if I can say that, but he's so funny to the point where he's talking about like the religious stuff. You can take Jesus out of it, and it's still so informing. That's what's so good about it. Like, you don't even have to have the religious aspect. I could just take the religious part and the Jesus part and the God part, cancel it, and just listen to the other part and still be entertained and feel good about everything.
But you like this guy so much that the fact that he keeps Jesus in it, you're okay with
I'm
it.
taking it all
Yeah.
in.
Sure.
I take it all in.
Sure.
And sometimes I'm like, really? The problem with this guy, he's so clever when he speaks. He always said the kicker at the end that gets me. I'm like, ah, you got me again. I'm like, I got this against you. I'm waiting. I'm like, I'm going to say this. I was even going to come up to him thinking at the end of the ceremony, or whatever it's called, the sermon, the preacher thing, I don't know. The end of it, I'm going to go up to him
service.
and say, what's this? And kind of get him. That would be my opening line.
Sure.
Unfortunately, at the end of the thing, he already explained it all, and I couldn't come up with anything.
You agreed with
So
that.
I'm
I like
getting-
that you go to church to try to prove your pastor wrong.
About Jesus.
About Jesus.
So, anyways, whereas he's so funny.
Sure.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, and he's so funny. This guy, he's talking about how Jesus is everywhere. I don't know if it's the same as your religion, Jared or Katie, but no, he said God is everywhere at any given moment. God is anywhere, and there's different. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I don't ever see him. I want proof. And blah blah blah. And he's talking about all the different ways that people might see God or relate to God. And it's not like a certain time and certain this, and he has his different ways. The church is a little different because they don't believe like it has to be this way for God to be there in certain rules. It's more like non-judgmental. God's over there all the time. You don't have to do this or this or
Like
this.
you don't have to be in the building to have a conversation, right?
So he's naming all these things, and there's this book about this different ways that you can see or pathways to God or something like that. And one of them, I mean, it's silly stuff sometimes, but it's like nature. When you're out in nature for some people, some people it's by themselves, right? Just alone. And then some people, it's got to be with a bunch of people. I could never do that by myself. And he was even saying even food sometimes. And then he just like made an off kind of comments like, and some people might even say they see, God through their cat. No, you didn't. We know that God's not through. Like he was making fun of cats for crying out loud.
Yeah. Which we all can relate to.
No, you didn't.
No,
Right. So it's just so funny. So I'm like,
Sure.
oh gosh. So this thing becomes so good. It's my favorite one ever. That he's live, the music, the thing that he did, the speech. So I'm like, I gotta go with him.
I gotta get that selfie.
I'm gonna get the selfie.
He's going to nut up and get the selfie with the pastor.
Sure enough, it all ends. And then he comes back on stage, and it was just this amazing thing. It was almost surreal. So I'm like, okay. I start shaking again. So immediately I go out, and sure enough, there's a big group of neighbors, people that like you think, are they really into this religion or not? I'm surprised. They're doctors and lawyers and people that actually work. Like they're really getting into this. But anyways,
So hold on, I'll stop you there.
People that actually work.
You just put your foot in your mouth. So basically, you're assuming that people who go to church are stupid.
no, but
That's basically what you're saying.
well, there's half the side of me that thinks sometimes it is, and there's half the side of me that
That's
doesn't.
very nice.
Okay.
Like
Not stupid, just
Katie and I
gullible.
and Matt we go to work every single day in Squid, and we go to church.
Yeah. Maybe it's just that maybe it's just that you like don't you're not committed fully. So
No, I just understand it. Like
Yeah.
I understand. I'm always trying to grasp where everybody else, a lot of people,
Okay.
are thinking, and it's so funny from it's all just totally people and cultures and everything else that really believe in religion. So there's times when I'm like, I get it, and then there's other times I'm like, I step back, I'm like, y'all just being gullible, that type of thing, right?
Okay.
that's the agnostic in you.
It is, and it's the truth. And we come out, and I'm like getting prepped, and then sure enough, there's seriously about 12 neighbors and people that we know, and they're all in this big group.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't want to be rude, but I'm like really trying to concentrate on what I'm supposed to say and go up to this guy and try to get the selfie. So I'm like,
What do I say?
so I'm like, I'm in the group, and I'm like, you know what? I start going back to maybe he'll just leave soon because I see him down there. I'm like, we're talking. I'm like, hey, Carol, I'll go get Everly. Taking more time and delaying. Come back with Everly. He's still there. I'm like, I'm going to have to do this.
Meanwhile, he has no idea that you're feeling
He's
this
real
way.
nervous.
No.
Pastor Jonathan, right?
I guess. I just know his name is Jonathan Robbins.
Okay.
Pastor Robbins.
So I go. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I go up to him, and just as I go up to him, some other old lady starts talking to him. So it was this audible. I'm like, and I walk around him and just keep going. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was awful. And they all looked at me when I was like, and I just pretended I was like going after Everly over there.
Pastor Everly.
So I'm like real nervous now. I'm shaking. I'm like, I have to do this because now I'm never going to live this down. So I'm waiting for the old lady to talk to him. I'm like, I hope more people don't come up because people are coming up and talking to him and whatnot. I think a lot of people are afraid there, to be honest with you.
Oh.
I think people are very afraid to talk to him because he's such a good speaker that it's like it makes you look.
He's almost like a celebrity within the
yes,
church.
you can't speak. Like I can't speak and you can speak in normal terms. Then I noticed I was getting dry mouth.
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
my gosh. So fortunately, I knew where the mints are. I ran up down the hallway and grabbed the mint, threw
You're
it in
doing
my
a
mouth.
lot of things.
Doing a lot of work.
Go up to him, and all of a sudden, this lady, I'm going to push this lady out of the way if she doesn't shut up.
God, like,
That's the Christian thing to do at church.
Finally, just as I get there, she leaves, and I go up to him. And I said, I'm like, hi, I'm Jason. I just want to let you know that you're a very good speaker. And he's like, oh, thank you. I didn't know if he thought I was from Make-A-Wish or something. I don't know.
oh my God.
I'm sorry, but it was true. I felt that, like, I don't know. I just felt so out of my element. I'm shaking. I don't know exactly what to say. So I just said,
Lord in heaven.
I'm not in a bad way.
Yeah,
No, I
right.
know.
But
Yeah.
he was like, oh, thank you very much. And then I said to him, I'm saying, yeah, I just think you're a really good speaker. You're very influential. You bring a lot of emotions out. And every time you speak, it changes things in my perspective about life and how things are. And I don't say anything about the agnostic part. So I don't want him.
Yeah, leave that out.
You don't want to slap you across the face.
You know what the funny part is? During the actual ceremony, there was more than ever 3 times he said something like, even if you're not a follower of Jesus, and he kept saying that a couple times, which is very odd. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's inclusive. You know what I mean?
He's saying that, and I'm like, is he getting
He's
a
talking
signal?
to me.
Is he reading my mind?
This is the sign I was looking for.
And I did say to him at the very end, I said, if I had your talent and your gift, I would be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company and be successful like that.
Not this church nonsense.
Jason always has a way to make people feel less
for everything.
Well, I'm making him say that. He's so talented. You could be like a CEO spokesperson type, the way he can
it was as a compliment, but it probably could come across as,
But, and then I said to him, and he goes, thank you very much. And I was like, damn it. I can't get my phone out. I can't do the selfie, and I walked off.
no selfie.
I don't have a selfie.
No.
Maybe you can invite. No, I don't. Never mind. I was thinking invite Pastor Robbins for a Friday morning live in the future.
Absolutely
No,
not.
you won't be able to talk.
No
Like
way.
during song pop, he'd be like,
Seriously, I barely know how to talk in church as it is.
Uh-huh.
I'm watching every single word, so I'm concentrating on what words are coming out of my mouth more than the thought.
Sure.
So, yeah, it was a great day that I met a great guy without a selfie. That's okay. I get Frankie Valli and John Bon Jovi selfie, but not his selfie.
no.
That's fine.
You've met Taylor Swift. You've met P Diddy. You met Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I think, though, that you could see him again in the future,
Yeah, I
face to
could.
face, and so the opportunity is not lost.
You could
No, it's
actually
not.
even drive all the way to Kernersville
You
one
could.
Sunday if
Wow.
you was in that location. I know it's a big drive for you.
yeah.
That side of the town?
That's true. That's the other side of the tracks. Oak Ridge.
Squid lives.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
We need it most over there. We need it most.
Wow.
Blessings.
That's a rough end of town. Kernersville.
Well, you do what you got to do.
It's a rough side of Guilford County.
You like a hint of danger.
Yeah,
You
and
do.
It might
You
be.
do.
Actually, part of Kernersville is in Forsyth.
That might
right?
even be Forsyth.
Oh, half of it. Most of Kernersville is in Forsyth.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Most
most
of it
of
is.
it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
maybe just stay in Oak Ridge so you
Yeah,
can be safe.
Forsyth
true.
County.
You should just rely on your informants to let you know the next
Right.
time he'll be present in
Yeah.
Oak Ridge.
Maybe get there a little bit early and do it
Sure.
before a bunch of people get there, and then you don't feel as awkward.
Oh, yeah, you be first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I should have just. I'm overthinking it.
Oh, you think?
I should
What gave that away?
You don't say.
just go right up and just.
Was it the dry mouth?
Or going back and forth to get the meds, the stuttering, wanting to push the old lady out of the way. I don't know. Some of those things.
Anyways,
Well, I don't know.
that's that.
I don't know if your church operates this way, but I mean, for us, we're able to set up a one-on-one with our priest or the
Hell
deacon.
no.
No, you
No,
would never.
way.
Yeah.
No, it would.
Oh,
It would be
you
like.
couldn't.
It would be like talking to something that is out of my element. Like
Okay.
I would be a loss for words.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that's never the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
Yeah, who would have thought
Yeah.
the celebrity,
Yes.
quote unquote, that you met was your pastor, and you were more nervous than meeting actual, real, super famous, worldwide superstars.
And for the record, I don't want to say. I know you say my pastor and all that. Just sounds super religious when you say that. So
Oh, you're a public
still-
speaker?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Sure.
still agnostic.
Your celebrity crush.
Thank you, Squid.
yeah, that's better.
can
Your
respect
celebrity
that.
crush,
Yeah.
crush,
Yeah.
Pastor Robbins. Robbins?
Robbins?
Mhm.
Robbins.
Yes, there's certain. I mean,
Yeah.
there's certain to each their own though. Like look at Vivian Howard to Katie.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
she's
why
not the
I get
most
it.
famous
Absolutely.
person, right?
And I had
No.
nothing to say.
Like,
Nothing.
would you probably be more nervous of Vivian Howard than you are with, I don't know, another celebrity?
Yes, because I feel 100%. I
Harry
even got
Styles?
weird. Well,
Well, Harry Styles
That's
is
too
big.
high.
yeah, that's pretty high. But I even got very nervous one time to go up and say hello to some
There's
fellow broadcasters, like who were from WXII one time.
Yeah, we were at a pizza place with Pyology,
Pyology for like a grand opening.
and there's a lady that she don't live
She's
here
not there
anymore,
anymore.
but she did the weather not even that long. In case that's the so and so from the weather.
I know.
I'm like, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
She was. It's like
I can't.
I can't say
I
anything
couldn't
to her.
do
I'm
it.
like,
So to
"Shh."
each their own.
Mhm, mhm.
You probably, Jared, would get nervous around certain college basketball players.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
And I would not get nervous at all.
Hey,
I would care.
At UNC Carolina one time, I was in high school, and Vince Carter was on Sports Center every time he played, and he played in the NBA. He's a Hall of Famer, and he'll be a Hall of Famer. With his over the top dunks and just everything. And we were with friends getting ready to go to a Carolina game. We're there early. We pulled up and it just happened to be by their dorm, and Vince Carter's getting out of his SUV right in front of us, and I'm like, I like Carolina. I'm like, drive off, drive off. I'm like, what? And he was like, cool.
Yeah, see,
Please ban him from the arena.
You don't even. I don't even know who I was. It's like, who am I? Why am I doing this? And I didn't even get the selfie.
Well, the worst part too, when you're in those that like starstruck, can't get the words out. It's all of a sudden I'm focusing on all of the physical things that are happening to my body.
Yes.
Like my face is bright red. I know that I have sweat on my upper lip. My hands are really sweaty.
Yes,
and I'm
I
like,
noticed
hope
that
they don't
too.
notice. Hope they don't notice. Hope they don't notice.
During the last 5 minutes of the ceremony, I'm wiping my hand on my pants. I'm like, oh my gosh! When I went to get Everlay, I got Perel, the alcohol, and I'm trying to dry my hands.
Is that why you have hives this morning? Do you
Maybe.
think?
Yeah, maybe.
Hands blistering off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
let me
happens to
see
the best of
throw.
us.
And then also, like, you don't want to. Oh, sorry, Jason. But you also, sometimes I don't want to feel like I'm bothering them.
Right.
Although
Yes.
when people
Yeah.
are, and I know our job's weird, and we don't think of ourselves this way, but when people are, for whatever reason, excited to see us, I love the fact that people come up and say hello. I'd rather them say hello than not.
That is true.
But then again,
Yeah, I
I
love
do the
meeting
exact same
everybody.
thing. Even if I saw like a local news person, I'm like, I don't want to bother them.
Well, that's because they're on a higher level.
Yes, true.
They are on a
What's,
way higher level.
What's Chris Lane's brother's name?
Corey Lane.
Corey, yeah, he was at Planet Fitness yesterday.
Did
Oh,
you say
yeah.
hello?
Kernersville. That I did because we
Okay.
both stared at each other for a second, but he had hat on. I'm like, I know him, and then that's the Chris Lane band.
Uh-huh.
So then I went up to, he recognized me and we shook hands and whatnot. But then I was like in my mind thinking, I don't want to ruin this guy's workout. So I kind of was just a small talk real quick. And
But he's also
Yeah.
an AML. He texts me all the time stuff when he's listening.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he was like nervous to meet us. Which
Well,
didn't make
why?
any
That's
sense to
weird.
me.
That's weird that two people are just nervous about to talk to each other.
It's like a nervous standoff.
Yeah.
Squid, have you ever had that happen?
I don't think I have. I wish I have. I mean,
We don't know what to say.
I've met Waka Flocka was one of my biggest celebrity I guess crushes back in the day, and I met him. I got some meet and greets, but I mean I was a little drunk, so I just I put it all out there, like,
Oh,
yo,
boy,
I
no.
love you, bro, blah 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 blah. I didn't.
What about when you first met us?
I don't know. I thought suicide contemplation, stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, it's dark.
That's why we should never go to Squid about anything. He's having to do a little too much
Okay.
because he was so nervous.